Hello and welcome to CapacityTV. Today we are joined by Lucy Woods, CEO of Viatel Group. Welcome, Lucy.
Thank you very much.
What factors are helping to drive demand for connectivity between data centres and internet exchanges across Europe?
We see it just a continual evolution in the technology and the opportunity coming in our industry, both for information services, entertainment services, internet services, and this shift in technologies, both in the fixed networks and for mobile networks, is allowing end users or end customers to use significantly more applications, ranging from web surfing to file sharing to video applications, which is driving this incredible growth in internet bandwidth.
How is VTL WaveNet tapping into demand from Western European cities?
Well, that's an easy question for us. Our network spans most of the major markets of Europe, and actually we have connectivity on 6 of the world's top 10 global internet routes. So we're very busy providing connectivity to our customers. And of course, Europe still remains the highest bandwidth demanding countries or region of the world.
And how is the market different to, say, Eastern and Central Europe?
What we're seeing in Western Europe is very high demand and good continuous growth. Obviously, Eastern Europe is starting to become more dynamic, and we're seeing more and more customers emerging from that region, although today their requirements are a lot less. And we are seeing some quite difficult, or unusual perhaps I should say, practical problems with doing business with some of these companies.
How is the role of internet exchanges changing in the European market?
I think the internet exchanges are still presenting themselves as neutral sites, and they do that really because they need all the rest of us to be happy to buy from them and to buy their services and resell them. We have seen some moves from some of them to take customers directly as well, but it seems that they tend to be using a channel model to resell their services. Very similar to the neutral data centres.
And which are the region's most important internet exchanges now?
VTL WaveNet has a very good relationship with AMS-IX in Amsterdam. We've worked together very seriously with them, and that's allowed us to see much more demand for 1 gig, 10 gig services around the city, and in fact it's driven us to pop more sites than we maybe have elsewhere. Having said that, of course, we also work with DKIX, MIX, Lynx, and the other major exchanges around Europe.
How have metro networks in Europe evolved in recent years?
I think the metro network continues to be highly valuable and a useful product if you have it. We see a lot of demand for that end piece of metro connectivity for a direct customer, for that business who's in a city who wants connectivity direct to his site. And obviously if you've got the metro fibre, that's helpful. If you haven't, really are plenty of people that you can lease it from or buy it. And we see lots of demand for resilient networks, resilient solutions to customers so that they're not at risk.
In light of the ongoing Eurozone crisis, how do you see long-haul networks developing in the coming years?
I think it's an interesting question. Certainly it's very hard at the moment to convince investors that Europe is a safe place to put their money. All of them are concerned about what may or may not happen as a result of the euro difficulties. And so obviously that has a direct effect on companies that need to raise money to make their major investments. And so over the last 6 months or so, we have seen a slightly slower market for large investment projects from our customers. We ourselves luckily have not been affected because we don't need major investment at the moment. It will be interesting to see what happens to long-haul fibre networks and how the end of the IRU era changes the way people behave.
And what do you mean by the end of the IRU era?
I made that point because I think it's interesting to take a look at when all the major IRUs in the industry were bought and when they might come to an end. And if you think back to the late 90s, a lot of competitors built their networks by buying IRUs off other people's networks. And a lot of those deals are 15 or 20 years long, so they'll be coming to an end sometime in the next 4 or 5 years, I would think. The question then is, for those people that own the networks that those IRUs are on, will they still be willing to issue another long-term IRU to their competitors, or might they take a different approach? I think that could be an interesting change in the industry if the network owners, fibre owners, decide to make it so.
Thank you for joining us today, Lucy.
That's a pleasure, Alex. Thank you.